Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Junta, the music director and conductor of the Des Moines Symphony, and I welcome you to the first listening room of our new season. Today, I'll talk about the first Masterworks series concerts that opened the orchestra's 87th season on September 28th and 29th. Now, this concert features three very different and exciting pieces from different eras and has a major star in today's classical music world. Her name is Olga Kurin, and she's a wonderful pianist. Now, Kevin Day is one of America's most acclaimed composers. His music fuses jazz and contemporary and classical music, even some R&B and soul, into his new and exciting language. It's very appealing to audiences and musicians alike. Kevin has composed well over 250 pieces for orchestra and band and chamber ensembles, and his music has been performed throughout the world, including Canada and the United States, Austria, Taiwan, South Africa, and Japan. His energetic and uplifting Lightspeed will be performed at these concerts. Now, Kevin composed this piece in 2019, and I first heard it then, and I have been meaning to program it ever since and look forward to it very much. The piece is inspired by Kevin's love of playing video games, and it displays in music the many quick and thrilling decisions while playing a video game. The energy and the spirit, coupled with some beautiful melodies, make this the perfect piece to begin a new season full of anticipation and enthusiasm. Now next, pianist Olga Kurin will perform Beethoven's popular Emperor Concerto with the orchestra. Now, Miss Kurin is one of the finest international pianists of her generation. She's just wonderful to listen to, and the way she interprets pieces and her keen musicianship and phenomenal technique all will make this a very special moment in the history of the Des Moines Symphony. Olga Kurin has won the Rachmaninoff International Piano Competition and was also a gold medalist at the Van Cliburn International Competition. Now, the piece that she'll play by Beethoven is in three movements. It's his fifth piano concerto, and the first movement is sort of a rousing march-like feel. It has great majesty and dignity and importance, and is really a great way to start a concerto. The second movement, as you would expect from Beethoven, is a beautiful, quiet, and very peaceful intermezzo, which sort of bridges the first movement to the last movement. And the finale, of course, is a wonderful, joyous, and uplifting dance that brings the piece to a great finale. So I know that this is going to be a special moment for all of us. And then after intermission, the orchestra will play the Great Seventh Symphony by the Austrian composer Anton Bruckner. We're playing this to honor the 200th anniversary of his birth. Now, Bruckner was a longtime organist and chorus director at St. Florian's Cathedral in Austria. He was born in that area that's just about halfway between Salzburg and Vienna. It's a very beautiful countryside right around Linz, and it's, by the way, a very fertile area with great soil, and they harvest a lot of corn and tomatoes and sort of vegetables, much like Iowa does. And Bruckner spent most of his life in this area, teaching music and playing the organ, of course, directing the church choir, but he also wrote symphonies on the side. And most of his symphonies were just not very well received, and there's a long story that goes along with that. I'm not going to tell you now, but it has to do with the fact that Brahms, who was very famous in Vienna, had a lot of friends there, really didn't like Bruckner very much, and Brahms had a lot of influence with the music critics of the day in Vienna, and that's why one of the reasons that Bruckner wasn't so well known in those days. But when he became 60 years old, he composed this piece of music, the Seventh Symphony, and this was hailed as one of the great symphonies of all time since Beethoven. And he literally became an international sensation over the period of about a year, and in my opinion, it was long overdue. I do believe that he was the best symphonist since Beethoven. Now, his music can be dark and majestic and melodic and spiritual and uplifting and grand. And the Seventh Symphony is one of the best pieces that he's ever written. It has 4 movements. The first 2 movements are about 20 minutes each long. The third movement's about 10 minutes, and the fourth movement's about 10 minutes. The first movement has 3 themes in it, which are really quite different. There's the first theme that's long and beautiful and just sort of floats out of the cellos, violas, and French horn section. The second theme is pretty linear. It has some 8th notes accompanying it that gives it a nice little character. And then the third theme is a lighthearted dance, much like you would hear in the foothills of the Alps. The movement is sort of draped in dark. It's pretty slow. It's very mysterious, but it's contrasted by this stunning majesty of these big brass chorales. They're big and bold and just glorious when you hear them. Now, Bruckner admired Richard Wagner very much. He attended several performances of his grand operas, and he looked up to him and developed a really good friendship with Wagner. And it was while Bruckner was composing the second movement of this piece, his Seventh Symphony, that Wagner died. And the ending is a tribute to him. The movement also begins using 4 Wagner Tuben, which are instruments that Wagner invented, and they sound like a cross. If you took a French horn and a trombone, put those sounds together, that's what it sounds like. But this movement is incredibly beautiful and very heartfelt, and gives the ending of it is just leaves you up in the air, and it's very moving and a wonderful tribute to Wagner. Now, the third movement, in contrast, is just a delightful country dance. It's reminiscent of kind of a youthful alpine party. It has very quick and enthusiastic rhythms. And the finale is a grand march that also includes a beautiful Bach chorale whom Bruckner also admired very much. The finale is based on the opening first movement theme and brings the piece to one of the most gorgeous and majestic finales in all of the orchestral literature. Now, this concert is full of variety and should appeal to all who attend. You won't want to miss this concert, the opening set of concerts in the Civic Center. And if you want to hear some of my favorite performances of the pieces I just spoke about, click on the link below and you'll be able to hear them. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you at the Symphony.